Hi guys, in this video I want to talk about important fact that actually full stretching position, which is very important for most of the exercises as it stimulates maximum muscle growth, does not actually benefit you in all the exercises. Now it is important to understand why is full stretching position important and what it happens when you are fully stretched in most of the exercises, and that will help us to understand why in some exercises the fully stretched position does not benefit us when it comes to optimal muscle growth. Now you have probably heard me talking in previous videos about the importance of fully stretched position, especially when I was talking about back exercises. So not only back, actually legs as well. So that fully stretched position, it's extremely important because it causes maximum mechanical tension. And mechanical tension is actually the most important factor for muscle growth. So in that fully stretched position, you are actually in the state of passive tension, which is the most important part of mechanical tension. So that fully stretched position under heavy load causes maximum tear of muscle fibers, and especially those filaments called titins, which are the biggest proteins in the human body, by the way. And with avoiding that fully stretched position under full load in most of the exercises will, hamper your muscle growth. So it's very important, especially when you do exercises like pull-downs, pull-ups, bent over rowings, squats, leg presses, bench presses with barbells, dumbbells, incline presses, shoulder presses, and similar exercises that you fully stretch at the bottom position, because at that point actually the resistance under the heavy load is highest. So the force applied to the muscle is at its highest point. Not only that, but that position of the fully stretched position actually is the position where the muscle is the strongest, so you can lift most of the weight. This is probably the reason why lots of successful and professional bodybuilders performed certain exercises in a way that they will only focus on that stretch position more than fully contracting in every rep. You can see there's a countless number of examples if you watch all these Olympians doing chest presses, shoulder presses, pull-ups, for example. Yes, especially I remember Nasser doing pull-ups in some of the videos, and he never went all the way up. So although full contraction is also important, this part of the exercise in which you are actually fully stretched, that this 60-70% of the motion are actually most important. Now, I am not the advocate of only doing partial reps, but I advise my clients, and I also do that myself, to perform last few reps of the set with those partial reps when you fully stretch and you pull as much as you can for another 2, 3, 4 times, rather than stopping at the moment when you cannot perform full contraction anymore. So this is a good tip for you to understand. So this exercise is actually very important because they are mainly biggest muscle groups exercises that you will perform, but this is not the rule for all the exercises. So there are some exercises in which that fully stretched position actually don't benefit you at all, because in that fully stretched position the tension is completely gone, the force is non-existing, and you can stay in that position for as long as you want because simply nothing is happening. There are not many exercises like that, but there are few. For example, I want to point out to few today, barbell and dumbbell biceps curls. So when you perform these exercises and you go all the way down into the fully stretched position, yes, your biceps is fully stretched, but not under resistance. So this is not the same as, for example, performing bench press, in which you are fully stretched under resistance and the heavy load in the bottom position. Or, for example, shoulder press, when you are fully stretched, but the resistance is at its maximum and mechanical tension is highest. The same applies to squats. When you're all the way down, you're fully stretched and the mechanical tension is at its maximum. But when you perform barbell curls or dumbbell curls, this is not the case. So mechanical tension is non-existing there. Nothing is happening there. This also applies to exercises like, for example, dumbbell lateral raises for shoulders. So in a fully stretched position, when your arms are all the way down, you can stand there forever because there is no tension, there is nothing happening, there is no force on your shoulders at all. And as you move up, the force is increasing, the tension is increasing, and reaching the point of maximum tension when your arms are actually parallel with the floor, and the force is 90 degrees perpendicular to the floor. So the same applies for biceps curls. At the bottom position, there is not much happening. As you start moving up, the force is increasing, the mechanical tension is increasing and reaching its peak when your forearms are parallel with the floor. But as you go up, it diminishes slowly, and if you come all the way up, as you have seen many people do, the mechanical tension doesn't exist anymore. So you can be standing there with the weights on top of your shoulder for as long as you want because there is no tension involved whatsoever. So these 2 points of, for example, biceps curls, barbell and dumbbell, should be avoided. I advise people not to go all the way down and also not to go all the way up to the point that the bar is almost sitting on your shoulders, but rather to avoid those 2 moments, those 2 positions. So before you reach fully stretched position, you should go up. Now, as I said, the same applies to dumbbell lateral raises and dumbbell bent over raises for rear shoulders. However, if you want to benefit for the full stretching position for biceps, you can achieve that by using biceps machines, because those machines will allow you to still have a lot of stress at the end of the repetition or at the fully stretched position. The same applies to rear delts when you perform seated, for example, rear delt contractions, or you do lateral raises on the specific machine, which allows you to have full tension throughout the motion, even in the fully stretched position. But exercises, as I mentioned, like barbell curls, dumbbell curls, lateral raises and dumbbell bent over raises will not benefit you in this fully stretched position. So what is important is to remember that what matters is that the high impact of the force, which will be achieved in the fully stretched position. If you perform exercises in which you do not have that high impact of the force, then obviously you should not be going for the fully stretched position. So I hope you like this video, and if you do, please subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And also for the ones who want to learn more about perfect techniques, perfect training systems, best selection of exercises, periodization, overtraining, nutrition, and fat loss, please visit my website, nashfittraining.com, and you will be able to download ebooks. There are 7 different ebooks that I've written on the subject of fat loss, nutrition, muscle building, hypertrophy, competitive bodybuilding, and you will probably get more information that you have never seen before. Also on that website, I provide different services like personal training online, telephone consultations, personalized training and nutrition programs, as well as personal training for people who live in London or UK. So I hope you enjoy this video, and see you in the next video.